A black groom at this Grand Regency? Did you steal the tux too, or just the bride? Detective Ryan Mitchell stands in the ballroom doorway. 6 officers behind him. 200 guests freeze. Andrew Gray stops mid-dance. Officer, this is my wedding. There's been a... Save it. Mitchell strides forward, badge flashing. Car thief, identity fraud, fake doctor credentials. He circles Andrew. Thought you'd marry a rich white girl and cash out. Andrew's voice stays calm. Sir, I'm a surgeon at St. Vincent's. Please check your... Shut up. Mitchell grabs Andrew's wrist. Twists. Handcuffs snap on. You people always have excuses. He shoves Andrew face down into the wedding cake. 5 tears explode. Frosting smears across Andrew's face. Sarah screams. My father is Sheriff Mitchell. He'll... Your daddy can watch me work, sweetheart. The sheriff is 90 seconds away. He's about to destroy this detective's entire career. 3 hours earlier, sunlight pours through the stained glass windows of Holy Name Cathedral on Chicago's North Side. The pews fill with guests in designer suits and silk dresses. This isn't just any wedding. This is the kind of event that gets featured in Chicago Magazine. Sarah Mitchell adjusts her veil in the bridal suite. Her mother, Rebecca, fusses with the train of her Vera Wang gown, $20,000 of ivory silk and French lace. Sarah barely notices. She's thinking about Andrew. Nervous? Rebecca asks. Not even a little. Sarah smiles at her reflection. I've never been more sure of anything. Rebecca's eyes mist. Your father said the same thing about you. Said from the moment Andrew saved Tommy's life, he knew you'd fall for him. Sarah laughs. Dad didn't say that. Dad barely spoke to Andrew for 2 years. He came around. Eventually. The ceremony begins at noon. Andrew stands at the altar in a custom-tailored tuxedo. Not rented, purchased. He saved for 8 months, working extra shifts at the hospital. This day matters. Every detail matters. His best man, Jake Harrison, leans over. You ready for this? Been ready since the day I met her. Jake grins. Man, you're corny as hell. And you're unemployed. I'm a public defender. There's a difference. They grew up together in Englewood, one of Chicago's most dangerous neighborhoods. Jake's mother raised them both after Andrew's mom got sick. They shared everything. Homework, dreams, the belief that they could escape the violence that claimed so many of their friends. Andrew made it out through medicine, Jake through law, both dedicated to helping people who looked like them. The organ begins. Everyone stands. Sarah appears at the end of the aisle. Andrew's breath catches. She's beautiful, but more than that, she's brave. Dating him meant confronting her family's doubts, her father's skepticism, the whispers at country club dinners. She walked through it all with her head high. Now she walks toward him. The officiant, a family friend of the Mitchells, begins. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to witness the union of Sarah Elizabeth Mitchell and Andrew James Gray. The names sound right together. The vows begin. Andrew's hands shake slightly as he takes Sarah's. Sarah, I promise to see you. Not just look at you, but see you. The way you saw me when others looked past me. I promise to defend you the way you've defended me. To love you even when the world tells us love isn't enough. His voice cracks. You taught me that it is enough. That we are enough. Sarah's mascara runs. She doesn't care. Andrew, you showed me what courage looks like. Real courage. Not the absence of fear, but the refusal to let fear win. You face a world that doubts you every single day, and you show up anyway. You heal anyway. You love anyway. She squeezes his hands. I promise to stand with you. Always. In every room that doesn't want us. In every space that questions us. I choose you. Every single day, I choose you. The officiant smiles. By the power vested in me by the state of Illinois, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride. Andrew pulls Sarah close. The kiss is soft, tender, perfect. The congregation erupts in applause. 200 people, doctors, lawyers, nurses, teachers, politicians, celebrating love that crossed lines America still struggles to erase. They walk back down the aisle together, married. Finally, completely married. The reception at the Grand Regency Hotel starts at 3:45 p.m. The ballroom sparkles with crystal and candlelight. White roses cascade from 10-foot centerpieces. A 12-piece jazz band plays Sinatra and Ella Fitzgerald. The guests arrive in waves. Andrew's colleagues from St. Vincent's Hospital cluster near the bar, trading surgery stories. Sarah's law firm partners occupy tables near the dance floor, already networking. Family members mingle awkwardly. The Mitchells' old money Chicago mixing with Andrew's South Side roots. Andrew's Aunt Denise traveled from Atlanta. She pulls him aside. Baby, your mama would be so proud. Wish she could see this. Andrew hugs her tight. She can. I know she can. His mother died 5 years ago. Breast cancer. Couldn't afford treatment until it was too late. Andrew was in his second year of residency. He held her hand as she passed. Made her a promise. I'll make you proud, Mama. I'll help people. I'll be the doctor you needed. He's kept that promise. Every patient, every long shift, every time someone tells him he doesn't belong, he thinks of her. The toasts begin. Jake takes the microphone first. I've known Andrew since we were 8, back when his shoes had holes and I shared my lunch, back when we dreamed about getting out, making something of ourselves. He looks at Andrew. You did it, brother. Georgetown Medical, top of your class, pediatric surgery. And now this beautiful woman who loves you enough to deal with your terrible taste in music. Laughter ripples through the crowd. But here's what you don't know about Andrew. Last year, a patient's family couldn't afford the medication their kid needed post-surgery. Andrew paid for it, out of pocket, $3,000. When I asked him why, he said, because that's what someone should have done for my mom. Silence. Heavy, emotional silence. That's who Andrew is. That's who Sarah married. A man who turns pain into purpose. Jake raises his glass. To Andrew and Sarah. May your love change the world the way it's changed me. Cheers. Deshaun Williams goes next. Civil rights attorney. Sharp suit, sharper mind. I'm going to keep this short because the shrimp cocktail is calling my name. Andrew, you're one of the good ones. And before anyone gets mad, I mean that in the best way. You're good. Genuinely good. In a world that tries to make us hard, you stayed soft, compassionate. That's rare. He looks at Sarah. Sarah, you got yourself a real one. Treat him right. And Andrew, you signed that prenup yet? The crowd laughs. I'm kidding, mostly. To the happy couple. Rebecca Mitchell dabs her eyes with a monogrammed handkerchief. She leans toward her sister. I can't believe Tom's missing this. He promised he'd be here. Where is he? Emergency city council meeting. Budget crisis. He texted he'd make it for the father-daughter dance. He better. The music starts. Andrew leads Sarah to the floor. At Last, by Etta James. The song they chose months ago. The song playing when they had their first real conversation at the hospital charity gala 3 years ago. Andrew was there reluctantly. Black tie fundraiser. He hated those events. All the wealthy donors treating doctors like performing monkeys. Sarah approached him at the bar. You look miserable. That obvious? Little bit. She smiled. I'm Sarah. I hate these things too. Andrew, why are you here if you hate it? My dad makes me come. He's the sheriff. Says it's good for appearances. They talked for 2 hours. About everything. Books, movies, the absurdity of wealth. By the end of the night, Andrew knew this woman was different. Now they sway together in front of 200 people. Sarah rests her head on Andrew's shoulder. Her dress trails behind them like a river. "We made it," she whispers. "We did." Against every single odd. Andrew kisses her forehead. "Your dad's going to get here soon. And then this day will be perfect." In the hotel lobby, the security guard hangs up his phone. His face twists with confusion. He checks his clipboard. Checks it again. Radios his supervisor. "You sure about this? The groom? Today? At his wedding?" Pause. "Understood. I'll let them through." He hangs up. Stares at the ballroom doors. Something feels wrong. Deeply wrong. But he's security, not law enforcement. His job is to comply. Back in the ballroom, Andrew spins Sarah one final time. The song reaches its crescendo. Her laugh fills the air. Pure joy. Hard-won, well-deserved joy. The music builds. Andrew pulls Sarah close. And that's when it happens. The doors don't just open, they explode. "Chicago PD! Step away from each other! Hands where we can see them!" The ballroom goes silent. Not the peaceful silence of a held breath. The violent silence of shock. Of fear. 6 Chicago police officers storm through the entrance. Body armor. Tactical vests. Hands hovering near holsters. Like they're raiding a drug den. Not a wedding. Detective Ryan Mitchell leads them. 45 years old. 22 years on the force. Face like carved granite. Eyes scanning the room with practiced efficiency. They land on Andrew. On the black man in the expensive tuxedo. On the man holding the white bride. "Andrew Gray?" Andrew releases Sarah's hand slowly. Steps forward. Both hands visible. He's done this before. Not at a wedding, but at traffic stops. At random searches in department stores. The routine of proving he belongs. "Yes, officer. I'm Andrew Gray. Can you tell me what's—" "Turn around. Hands behind your back, now." The words hit the room like a grenade. Andrew doesn't move. Can't process what's happening. "I'm sorry, what? There must be some mistake." "There's no mistake." Mitchell's voice could cut glass. "Andrew James Gray, you are under arrest for grand theft auto, identity fraud, and theft of over $250,000 in medical equipment from St. Vincent's Hospital." Gasps echo through the ballroom. Silverware clatters onto plates. Someone's glass shatters. Andrew's mind races. Medical equipment? St. Vincent's? That's where he works. Where he's worked for 3 years. Where he just performed a 16-hour surgery last Tuesday, saving a child's life. "Officer, I work at St. Vincent's. I'm a pediatric surgeon there. There's clearly been—" "I don't care if you're the Surgeon General." Mitchell grabs Andrew's shoulder. Rough. Aggressive. "Turn around before I add resisting arrest to your charges." Sarah lunges forward. Her wedding dress rustles like thunder. "Stop! This is insane! He's a doctor. He works there. Show me your warrant." An officer, young, muscular, hand on his belt, steps between them. "Ma'am, you need to step back right now." "I'm an attorney." Sarah's voice cuts through the chaos. Sharp. Precise. The voice she uses in courtrooms. "Sarah Mitchell, Civil Rights Division, Harrison and Finch. You cannot arrest someone without probable cause. Where is your warrant?" Mitchell doesn't even look at her. "We have all the probable cause we need. Witness identification, vehicle registration, physical description." He nods to his officers. 2 of them move toward Andrew. Andrew raises his hands slowly, palms out, non-threatening. "Gentlemen, I'm going to comply. But please, check your information. My name is Andrew Gray. I drive a 2015 Honda Civic. I was in surgery all day Tuesday. There are 12 witnesses. Save it for booking." The officers grab his arms, yank them behind his back. Andrew winces but doesn't resist. The handcuffs click closed. Cold metal bites into his wrists. Too tight. Deliberately too tight. Mitchell circles Andrew like a predator. Nice tux. Rent it or steal it. A few gasps from the crowd. Andrew keeps his voice level. I bought it. 8 months of saving. For today. For my wedding. Your wedding. Mitchell's laugh is ugly. Mean. At the Grand Regency, with all these people. He gestures at the wealthy white guests. And you expect me to believe a black guy from Englewood is a surgeon? That you belong here? The racism isn't subtle anymore. It's naked. Weaponized. Jake Harrison pushes through the crowd. Hey, you can't talk to him like that. He is a doctor. Dr. Andrew Gray, Georgetown Medical School. I can show you his credentials right now. Sir, back up or you're obstructing justice. Justice. This is racial profiling. Mitchell ignores him, grips Andrew's elbow, hard enough to bruise. Let's go. He shoves Andrew toward the gift table. Andrew's knee hits the edge, hard. He stumbles, falls against the table. White envelopes scatter. A crystal vase crashes to the floor, water and roses everywhere. Mitchell presses Andrew's face against the tablecloth. Stay down! Sarah screams, actually screams. The sound tears through the ballroom. Get off him, Dad! Someone call my father! She pulls out her phone with shaking hands, dials. It rings and rings. Voicemail. Dad, it's me. Something's happening. They're arresting Andrew at the wedding. Please call me back. Please! Rebecca Mitchell pushes through the crowd, her own phone pressed to her ear. Tom, I don't care what meeting you're in. Our son-in-law is being arrested. Get here now! Mitchell hauls Andrew upright. Andrew's face is red from the pressure, frosting from the nearby cake smeared across his cheek, his dignity being stripped in front of everyone he loves. Andrew Gray, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. The Miranda rights echo through the ballroom. Hollow. Mechanical. A performance of legality masking an act of pure prejudice. Deshaun Williams pulls out his phone, starts recording. Badge number 4823, Detective Ryan Mitchell, June 15th, 3:45 p.m. No warrant produced. Probable cause based solely on racial profiling. We are all witnesses. Mitchell glares at him. Put that phone away. No, this is a public space. I have every right to record. Or are you planning to violate his First Amendment rights too? Other phones come out. 10, 20, 50. A forest of cameras capturing everything. Mitchell's jaw clenches, but he can't stop them. Can't confiscate 50 phones without creating an even bigger incident. He drags Andrew toward the exit. Andrew doesn't fight, doesn't pull away. He walks with his head up, eyes forward. As they pass Sarah, he looks at her. It's okay. Truth will come out. I love you. I love you too. Tears stream down her face, ruining her makeup. She doesn't care. Mitchell reaches the ballroom doors, pauses, turns back to the crowd like a performer taking a bow. Sorry to interrupt your party, folks, but criminals don't get a pass just because they put on a tux and crash a fancy hotel. Justice doesn't care about your zip code. Someone in the crowd shouts, "He's not a criminal, you're a racist!" Mitchell smiles, cold, satisfied. Film whatever you want. Won't change the facts. Your friend's going to jail. He pushes Andrew through the doors. The ballroom erupts. The Grand Regency lobby transforms into a circus. Tourists with shopping bags freeze mid-stride. A concierge drops a stack of room keys. The afternoon piano player stops mid-song. Everyone stares as Detective Mitchell parades Andrew Gray through the marble atrium like a trophy. Andrew, hands cuffed behind his back, tuxedo jacket bunched and twisted, walks with his spine straight, head level, the same posture he learned during residency when attendings screamed at him for mistakes other residents made but never got blamed for. Behind them, the wedding guests pour out of the ballroom, a tidal wave of outrage and designer clothes. "This is wrong," a voice from the crowd. "Let him go." Another. "Racial profiling." A third. Mitchell doesn't slow, doesn't acknowledge them. His grip on Andrew's elbow tightens, steering him toward the revolving doors. Outside, 3 squad cars wait, light bars painting the limestone facade red and blue. Sarah runs after them, wedding dress hiked up in both hands, heels clicking frantically on marble. "Detective Mitchell, and I want to be clear, we are not related. You are making the single biggest mistake of your career." Mitchell stops, turns. His face shows annoyance, not concern. "Ma'am, last warning. Step back or I'll charge you with obstruction of justice." "I'm his wife." Sarah's voice shakes but doesn't break. "I'm his attorney, and I'm telling you, you have violated his Fourth Amendment rights. No warrant, no exigent circumstances, no probable cause beyond the color of his skin. We have a witness." Mitchell's words come out clipped, defensive. Physical description matched. Black male, 30s, 6 feet tall, athletic build, seen near St. Vincent's Hospital equipment storage Tuesday evening around 7 p.m. "That describes 10,000 men in this city." Sarah pulls out her phone, starts typing frantically. "I'm documenting every word, every action, time-stamped, geotagged, admissible in court." "Good for you, counselor." Mitchell turns back toward the exit. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a job to do." They push through the revolving doors. Outside, the late afternoon sun blinds Andrew for a moment. He blinks, adjusts. The street is busy. Pedestrians stop on the sidewalk, point, whisper. The photographers hired to capture the wedding scramble for position. This wasn't in their contract, but a story like this? Worth more than any wedding album. Click, click, click. The cameras sound like accusations. Andrew Gray, surgeon, Georgetown graduate, son of a cleaning woman who died without proper medical care, in handcuffs, on his wedding day. The image that will go viral in less than 2 hours. One of the officers, a younger man with nervous eyes, approaches Mitchell quietly. His nameplate reads, Bennett. "Detective, I need to tell you something." "Not now, Bennett." "Sir, it's about the APB. I just got an update." "I said not now." Mitchell yanks open the back door of the squad car. "Get in." He places his hand on top of Andrew's head, the gesture police use to guide suspects into vehicles, but the pressure is excessive, aggressive, demeaning. Andrew ducks, slides onto the vinyl seat. The door slams. Through the window, he sees Sarah. She's on her phone, pacing, tears streaming, talking rapidly to someone. Behind her, Rebecca Mitchell is also on a phone, her free hand gesturing urgently. Jake Harrison approaches the squad car, knocks on Mitchell's shoulder. "Detective, you need to listen to me." Mitchell spins. "Touch me again and you're charged with assault on an officer." "I'm a public defender. I know the law, and I know you don't have probable cause. A physical description? That's not enough for—" "You want to join your friend in custody?" Mitchell's hand moves to his handcuffs. Jake steps back, but his phone stays up, recording. Badge 4823. Detective Ryan Mitchell refusing to produce warrant or specify probable cause beyond racial profiling. The crowd from the wedding surrounds the squad cars now. They're not all allies. Some of the older white guests cluster together, whispering. Their body language suggests doubt. Maybe Andrew did something. Maybe there's more to the story. Maybe the police know something they don't. That's the insidious nature of racism. It makes good people question innocence. But the younger guests, many of them Andrew's colleagues from St. Vincent's, form a protective semicircle. Deshaun Williams stands at the front, his attorney instincts in full force. "Detective Mitchell!" Deshaun's voice cuts through the noise. "For the record, what specific evidence links Dr. Gray to this alleged crime?" I don't answer to you. You answer to the law. What evidence? Mitchell's face flushes. Witness identification. Vehicle registration to an M. Thompson seen leaving the scene. M. Thompson. Deshawn's voice drips with sarcasm. And Dr. Gray's name is? The vehicle matches. What vehicle, Doctor? Gray drives a Honda Civic. Are you telling me your witness identified a specific person or just a black man? Silence. The question hangs in the air like an indictment. Sarah pounds on the squad car window. Andrew! Andrew looks at her through the glass, mouths 3 words slowly. I love you. Sarah's knees buckle. Rebecca catches her, holds her daughter as she sobs into white silk and champagne stains. Mitchell gets into the driver's seat, starts the engine. But before he can shift into drive, the hotel security guard sprints out, red-faced, breathing hard. Detective! Detective Mitchell! Mitchell rolls down the window. What now? The guard glances at Andrew in the back seat, at the crowd, at the phone's recording. Dispatch just radioed. They said to hold. They said there's been a development. What development? The guard lowers his voice. They said the real suspect was already apprehended. In Naperville, 90 minutes ago. Mitchell's face goes pale, then red. That's not confirmed. Sir, they specifically said, get away from my vehicle. The guard steps back, hands raised. Officer Bennett appears at the passenger window. Detective, I tried to tell you. I got the APB update at 3:52. Michael Sanders, age 41, arrested in Naperville at 3:15. I showed you the message. Mitchell's hands grip the steering wheel, knuckles white. I didn't see any message. I literally showed you my phone. I said I didn't see it. Mitchell's voice is too loud, defensive. The sound of a man who knows he's wrong but can't admit it. Bennett stares at him. Sir, we need to release Dr. Gray. Now, before this gets worse. Before this gets worse? Mitchell laughs, bitter, angry. It's already worse. We're surrounded by phones. If I let him go now, it looks like we made a mistake. We did make a mistake! No, we followed procedure. We had a description. We made an arrest. The courts will sort it out. Bennett's face hardens. Sir, with all due respect, that's not how this works. We don't arrest innocent people and let the courts sort it out. That's not justice. Are you refusing an order, Officer Bennett? I'm telling you that if you proceed with this arrest, I'm filing a report, a full report, and I will testify against you if it goes to trial. The 2 men stare at each other. Mitchell sees something in Bennett's eyes. Integrity. The thing Mitchell lost years ago, worn down by quota pressures and casual prejudices and the slow corruption of power. Fine. Mitchell doesn't look at Bennett. File your report. See where it gets you. He puts the car in drive. Sarah's phone finally connects. Not her father. His office. This is Sarah Mitchell. I need Sheriff Mitchell immediately. I don't care if he's in a meeting. My husband was just falsely arrested at our wedding and... What? No, you listen to me. The person on the other end cuts her off. Fine, fine. Tell him to call me the second he's available. Tell him his daughter needs him. Tell him Detective Ryan Mitchell just destroyed his son-in-law's life. She hangs up, screams in frustration. The sound echoes off the hotel's facade, raw, primal. Rebecca tries her phone again, leaves another voicemail. Tom, where are you? Andrew's in handcuffs, in a police car. They're about to take him to jail, on his wedding day. Call me. Please, call me right now. Inside the squad car, Andrew sits perfectly still. The handcuffs cut into his wrists. He can feel his hands going numb. He breathes slowly, deliberately. In through the nose. Count to 4. Hold. Count to 4. Out through the mouth. count to 4. The technique he teaches parents in the pediatric ER when their children are in surgery, when fear threatens to overwhelm them. Stay calm. Stay present. The moment will pass. Mitchell puts the car in drive. The engine revs. The crowd surges forward. "Don't take him!" Jake's voice rises above the chaos. Officers form a barrier between the car and the guests. "Stand back! Stand back or you'll all be arrested!" Deshaun Williams doesn't back down. "You're arresting an innocent man. The real suspect is already in custody. This is a federal civil rights violation." Mitchell's jaw clenches. He presses the accelerator. The squad car inches forward. Guests part reluctantly. Phones track the vehicle like spotlights. Every angle captured, every moment documented. Andrew stares at the ceiling of the squad car, counts the seconds, waits for truth to arrive. It always does. Eventually. But sometimes truth arrives too late. The car reaches the edge of the hotel's circular drive, just needs to merge into Michigan Avenue traffic, and this nightmare becomes official. Andrew Gray, arrested, booked, fingerprinted, the stain that never fully washes out. Mitchell checks his mirrors. Clear. He signals, and that's when tires screech. A black SUV with tinted windows whips around the corner. Fast. Too fast for hotel traffic. It cuts directly across Mitchell's path, blocks him completely. Mitchell slams the brakes. What the hell? The SUV door opens. A boot hits the pavement. Polished. Black. Size 12. Another boot. Sheriff Thomas Mitchell steps out into the late afternoon sun. 61 years old. Cook County Sheriff. 35 years in law enforcement. More arrests than most officers make in a career. More commendations than most earn in a lifetime. Decorated uniform. 4 stars on each shoulder. Service ribbons across his chest. Badge that catches the light like a weapon. His face is carved granite. His eyes are cold fury barely contained. 2 state troopers flank him. Hands resting on their belts. Professional. Alert. Ready. The sheriff walks toward the squad car. His stride is deliberate. Controlled. The walk of a man who's commanded respect for 3 decades and will not be denied. Detective Ryan Mitchell opens his car door. Steps out. He's annoyed at first, then confused. Then, as recognition sets in, afraid. "Sheriff Mitchell, sir." He tries for professional. Achieves nervous. "This is Chicago PD jurisdiction. We're transporting a suspect." The sheriff stops 3 feet away. Looks at the detective, looks at the squad car, looks at the man in the back seat in handcuffs. When he speaks, his voice could freeze blood. "Detective, you're transporting my son-in-law." The world stops. Not metaphorically. Actually stops. 200 people freeze mid-breath. Cars on Michigan Avenue slow, drivers sensing something happening. Even the wind seems to pause. Detective Ryan Mitchell's face drains of all color. His mouth opens, closes, opens again. No words come. "You're what?" Sheriff Thomas Mitchell takes 1 step closer. The detective takes 1 step back. It's instinctive. Prey recognizing predator. "My son-in-law." The sheriff's words are precise, clear, undeniable. "Dr. Andrew Gray. Married my daughter Sarah approximately 4 hours ago at Holy Name Cathedral. I was delayed at an emergency city council meeting regarding the budget crisis. I plan to arrive for the reception and the father-daughter dance." He pauses, lets that information settle like snow. Instead, I received 3 frantic phone calls informing me that a Chicago Police Department detective just arrested my son-in-law at his wedding reception without a warrant, based on a witness description that could match half the black men in this city. The sheriff's voice remains calm, dangerously calm, the kind of calm that precedes a Category 5 hurricane. "So let me ask you, Detective Mitchell, what exactly is your probable cause for this arrest?" The detective's hands shake slightly. He grips his belt to hide it. "Sir, We had a positive identification from a witness at St. Vincent's Hospital. Physical description matched. Black male, 30s, 6 feet tall, athletic build. That's it? The sheriff's eyebrows rise. That's your probable cause? A racial profile? No, sir. We also had a vehicle registration. Stolen Mercedes. Registered to an M. Thompson. The suspect was seen. An M. Thompson. The sheriff pulls out his phone. Doesn't break eye contact. Dials. Records. Sheriff Mitchell. How many individuals with the initials M. Thompson currently hold vehicle registrations in Cook County? Pause. 63, thank you. He hangs up. So you narrowed your suspect pool to 63 people based on initials, then further narrowed it based on race and approximate age, is that correct? Detective Mitchell swallows hard. Sir, the witness was certain... The witness was certain of what? That they saw a black man? Or that they saw this black man? The sheriff points to the squad car. They identified him as matching the description. Did you conduct a lineup? No, but did you verify Dr. Gray's whereabouts during the alleged crime? We were going to confirm before or after you arrested him at his wedding. Silence. Sarah breaks through the crowd. Dad! The sheriff's entire demeanor changes in an instant. His face softens. His shoulders drop. He turns and opens his arms. Sarah crashes into him, sobbing into his uniform. I'm here, sweetheart. I'm here. I'm so sorry I was late. They handcuffed him, Dad, shoved him into the cake, humiliated him in front of everyone. Her voice breaks. They called him a thief. Said he was playing dress-up. The sheriff's jaw clenches. He holds his daughter tighter, kisses the top of her head, then looks back at the detective. The softness evaporates. Officer Bennett? Bennett snaps to attention. Yes, sir. Get Dr. Gray out of that vehicle. Remove the handcuffs. Immediately. Yes, sir. Bennett rushes to the squad car, opens the door. Dr. Gray, I'm so sorry. This should never have happened. Andrew steps out slowly. His wrists are red and raw where the handcuffs bit into skin. Bennett unlocks them with shaking hands. Sir, I tried to tell Detective Mitchell. I received the APB update at 3:52. The real suspect, Michael Sanders, was already in custody in Naperville. I showed him the message on my phone, but he ignored you. The sheriff nods. We'll address that. Thank you for trying to do the right thing, Officer Bennett. Bennett steps aside. Andrew rubs his wrists. The circulation returns slowly, painfully. He looks at the sheriff, at the man who barely spoke to him for 2 years, who sat in stony silence through family dinners, who shook his hand exactly once before today. Sheriff Mitchell. Andrew's voice is steady despite everything. Hell of an entrance. A ghost of a smile crosses the sheriff's face. I do try to make an impression. He extends his hand. Andrew, I apologize for being late, and I apologize for this. Andrew shakes his hand. Firm grip, mutual respect. Not your fault, sir. It is, actually. The sheriff doesn't release Andrew's hand. This is my jurisdiction, my department's culture, my responsibility. He squeezes once. But I'm here now, and this ends now. He releases Andrew's hand, turns to the crowd. 200 wedding guests, 50 phones still recording. The hotel staff, random pedestrians, everyone watching. For those who don't know me, I'm Sheriff Thomas Mitchell, Cook County. I've served in law enforcement for 35 years. I've made thousands of arrests. I've put dangerous people behind bars. And I've also seen the system fail good people. His voice carries across the Circle Drive, clear, authoritative. Dr. Andrew Gray is my son-in-law as of, he checks his watch, 4 hours and 16 minutes ago. He married my daughter Sarah in a beautiful ceremony that I regrettably missed. He pauses. But I know Andrew. I've known him for 3 years. He's the surgeon who saved my grandson's life when every other doctor said there was no hope. He worked 16 hours straight, didn't eat, didn't sleep, just focused on saving my grandson. Rebecca pushes through the crowd, stands next to her husband. He takes her hand. My daughter met Andrew at the hospital. She was there doing pro bono work for families who couldn't afford legal representation. Andrew was there doing the same, treating children whose families couldn't pay. They connected over their shared commitment to helping people. The sheriff looks at Andrew, at Sarah, at the young couple who just wanted one perfect day. For 2 years, I questioned their relationship. Not because Andrew wasn't good enough, but because I was afraid of how the world would see them, afraid of the challenges they'd face. His voice roughens with emotion. I was wrong. They're stronger together than I ever gave them credit for. He turns back to Detective Mitchell. So when a decorated detective decides that this man, this brilliant, compassionate, dedicated man, must be a criminal because he's black and at an expensive hotel, that's on me. That's the culture I failed to change. Detective Mitchell tries to speak. Sir, I wasn't. Don't lie to me. The sheriff's voice cracks like a whip. I've been doing this for 35 years. I can smell racism from a mile away. You saw a black man marrying a white woman in a venue you think he couldn't afford. You decided he must be a fraud, a thief, a criminal playing dress-up. That's not... It is exactly that. The sheriff pulls out his phone again. Dials. Records. Run a full background check on Andrew James Gray. Date of birth, March 15th, 1992. He waits. Everyone waits. Uh-huh. Clean record. Not even a parking ticket. And his current employment? Pause. St. Vincent's Hospital, Pediatric Surgery Department, 3 years. Excellent reviews. And where was Dr. Gray this past Tuesday between 8 a.m. and midnight when the alleged crime occurred? Longer pause. Operating room. Emergency surgery on a 7-year-old with a congenital heart defect. 16 hours. 12 staff members witnessed and assisted. The child survived and is recovering. The sheriff hangs up, stares at Detective Mitchell. So, to summarize, clean record, verified employment, ironclad alibi witnessed by a dozen people, and you arrested him anyway, at his wedding, without checking any of this. Detective Mitchell's face is gray. We had information that you had prejudice. There's a difference. The sheriff pulls out his small leather notebook, the one he's used for 35 years, flips it open, starts writing. Let's review your violations, shall we? Unlawful arrest without probable cause. Failure to produce a warrant. Failure to verify APB updates before proceeding with arrest. Excessive force. Yes, excessive force. Because shoving a suspect into a cake table when he's not resisting is assault. And wrongful detention of a citizen on what should have been the happiest day of his life. He clicks his pen. Badge. Gun. Right now. Detective Mitchell's face crumbles. Sheriff, please. I've been on the force for 22 years. I have a family. I didn't mean 22 years. The sheriff nods slowly. Then you should absolutely know better. Badge and gun. This is your final warning. Detective Mitchell's hands shake as he removes his badge from his belt. The metal catches the sunlight one last time. 22 years of service. Commendations. Arrests. All of it ending in this moment. He hands it to the sheriff. Then his service weapon. Slowly, like he's severing a limb. The sheriff pockets both items. You are on immediate administrative leave without pay pending a full internal affairs investigation. You will surrender your credentials at headquarters within 24 hours. Do you understand? Yes, sir. The words come out broken, defeated. Do you have anything to say to Dr. Gray? Detective Mitchell looks at Andrew, really looks at him for the first time, sees not a suspect, not a profile, a man whose life he tried to destroy. I... Dr. Gray, I... He can't finish the sentence. What apology could possibly be enough? Don't apologize to him here. The sheriff's voice is ice. Apologize through your attorney to his attorney, because Dr. Gray has grounds for a federal civil rights lawsuit that will cost this city millions of dollars, and you personally will be named as a defendant. Sarah steps forward. We will pursue every legal avenue available. Every single violation will be documented. Every witness will testify. Andrew places a hand on her shoulder. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. He looks at Detective Mitchell. But right now, I just want to finish getting married. I just want one day, where I'm treated like a human being. The simplicity of that statement hits harder than any accusation. Detective Mitchell nods, can't speak. He walks to his personal car. Alone. No badge, no gun, no authority. The crowd parts for him. Silent. Judging. He gets in his car. Doesn't look back. Can't look back. He drives away. The sheriff watches him go. Then turns to Andrew. Son, I owe you more than an apology. I owe you better. This city owes you better. Andrew's composure finally cracks. His eyes water. Sheriff Mitchell, Tom. Call me Tom. The sheriff smiles. You married my daughter. You saved my grandson. You've more than earned the right. Tom. Andrew nods. Thank you. For coming. For believing me. I should have been here from the start. Tom places both hands on Andrew's shoulders. I promise you this will not stand. Chicago PD will implement new protocols. Mandatory verification before arrests. Body camera reviews. Implicit bias training for every officer. That would mean something. It will happen. I give you my word. Sarah hugs them both. Her father and her husband. The two most important men in her life. Can we please just go back to the wedding now? Tom laughs. Genuine laughter. I believe I owe you a father-daughter dance, young lady. They walk back toward the hotel together. The crowd erupts in applause. Real applause. Sustained applause. Not just for the sheriff's arrival or for justice served. For love. For family. For the belief that things can change. Jake Harrison approaches Andrew, pulls him into a tight hug. Man, I was about to break you out of that squad car. I know you were. Deshaun Williams joins them. Sheriff Mitchell is a legend, but you? You're stronger than anyone I know. Andrew shakes his head. I just want to dance with my wife. Then let's make that happen. The sheriff leads them back inside. The phones keep recording, but now they're capturing something different. Not injustice, redemption. The Grand Regency staff performs a minor miracle. In exactly 23 minutes, they transform chaos back into celebration. A new wedding cake appears, rushed from a partner bakery 6 blocks away. Not as elaborate as the original 5-tier masterpiece, but beautiful nonetheless. White fondant with gold leaf accents, simple, elegant. The jazz band retunes their instruments. The event manager replaces shattered champagne flutes. Spilled drinks are mopped. Scattered rose petals swept. The ballroom looks almost normal. But the energy is different now. Electric, charged with something beyond celebration. Vindication. Andrew stands at the entrance with Sarah, Sheriff Tom, and Rebecca. His tuxedo is wrinkled. Frosting still stains his collar. Sarah's wedding dress has champagne marks and a small tear in the train. Neither of them cares. The band starts playing. Not at last. They've moved past that moment. Something new. Something defiant. Lovely Day by Bill Withers. Andrew and Sarah walk back into the ballroom hand in hand. The crowd stands immediately. Not scattered, polite standing. A wave of 200 people rising as one. The applause begins. It doesn't stop. 5 minutes. Hands clapping until they hurt. Some people crying, others laughing. Most doing both. Jake Harrison puts 2 fingers in his mouth, whistles loud enough to crack glass. "That's my boy! That's my brother!" Deshaun Williams raises his champagne glass so high it nearly hits the chandelier. "To Dr. and Mrs. Gray! To justice! To love that survives anything!" "To justice!" the crowd echoes. "To love!" Sheriff Tom takes the microphone from the band leader. Feedback squeals for a moment. He adjusts. His voice fills the room. "I need to say something." The crowd quiets instantly. "I've been in law enforcement for 35 years. I've seen the best of humanity. Parents who risk everything to protect their children. Officers who run toward danger while others run away. Citizens who stand up for strangers because it's the right thing to do." He pauses. "But I've also seen the worst. I've seen power abused, authority weaponized, good people destroyed by bad systems." His voice gets quieter. Everyone leans in to listen. "What happened here today is unacceptable. A decorated detective violated every principle we're supposed to uphold. He profiled. He assumed. He humiliated an innocent man on the most important day of his life." Some guests shift uncomfortably. This isn't typical wedding speech material, but Tom continues. "I can make excuses. I can say he was following a lead, doing his job, making a mistake under pressure." Tom shakes his head. "But I won't. Because what Detective Mitchell did wasn't a mistake. It was racism, plain and simple. He saw a black man in a place he decided black men don't belong. And he acted on that prejudice." The room is completely silent now. "But I also saw something else today. I saw 200 people refuse to look away. You pulled out your phones. You recorded. You spoke up. You witnessed." His voice strengthens. "That's how systems change. Not through silence, through accountability, through people like you saying, 'No, this is wrong, we won't accept this.'" Applause builds again. Tom raises his hand. "Not done yet." "Andrew, Sarah, your love survived a test it never should have faced. And that's on me to fix. On all of us to fix." He looks around the room. "I promise you, and everyone here, that Chicago PD will change. We're implementing mandatory APB verification before any arrest. Body camera review protocols within 72 hours. And implicit bias training. Real training, not a 1-hour seminar for every single officer in Cook County." He turns to Andrew. "You deserved better. Chicago deserves better. But what you showed today, dignity under fire, grace under pressure, the refusal to let hate win, that's what real strength looks like." Andrew nods. His throat is too tight to speak. Tom's voice softens. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I believe I owe my daughter a dance." The crowd erupts again. Sarah steps forward, takes her father's hand. The band starts "My Girl" by The Temptations. Father and daughter move to the center of the floor. They sway together. Sarah rests her head on Tom's shoulder. He holds her like she's still 5 years old, feet standing on his shoes while they danced in the kitchen. "Thank you for coming, Dad." "Wouldn't have missed it for the world." He kisses her forehead. "I'm sorry I was late. Sorry I doubted Andrew. Sorry I wasted 2 years being stubborn." "You came around. Not soon enough." His voice catches. "When I saw him in those handcuffs, I saw every black man who's been treated like a criminal for existing, and I was ashamed. Ashamed of my profession. Ashamed of myself for not fighting harder to change it. You're fighting now. I should have fought sooner." When the song ends, Andrew cuts in, extends his hand to Tom. "May I?" Tom laughs, shakes Andrew's hand instead, then pulls him into a tight hug. The kind of hug that erases 2 years of awkward dinners and forced conversations. Welcome to the family, son. Officially. Thank you, sir. Tom. You saved my grandson's life 3 years ago. I should have said this then. You're remarkable, not just as a surgeon, as a human being. Tom's eyes are wet. I'm proud to call you my son-in-law. Andrew can't speak, just nods. The reception continues. The energy shifts from shock to celebration. Dancing. More toasts. Cake cutting. The second cake, but somehow sweeter for everything it represents. Jake takes the microphone again. I prepared a toast earlier, but honestly, Andrew already said everything that matters. He said, truth is patient. When people assumed the worst about him, he just worked harder, proved them wrong every time. He looks at Andrew across the dance floor. Today, we all saw what patience looks like, what dignity looks like, what refusing to let hate win looks like. Jake raises his glass. To Andrew and Sarah, may every day be easier than today, because if your love survived this, it can survive anything. Cheers! Guests flood the dance floor, young and old, black and white. The barriers that usually segment wedding receptions dissolve. Everyone dances together. Deshawn pulls Andrew aside during a slow song. You know we're suing them, right? Federal civil rights violation. This is textbook. Andrew watches Sarah laughing with her mother. Maybe. First, I just want to enjoy being married. Fair enough. But when you're ready, I have a team ready to go. Around midnight, guests start leaving. But they don't just leave. They approach Andrew and Sarah, slip them business cards, whisper support. Call me if you need anything. My firm specializes in civil rights cases, pro bono. I have contacts at the ACLU. The Justice Department needs to hear about this. Officer Bennett approaches last, hesitant, nervous. Dr. Gray, Mrs. Gray, I wanted to apologize again. I should have pushed harder. I should have refused to participate. Andrew stops him. You tried. You spoke up. That took courage. Thank you. I'm going to testify. In the investigation. I'm going to tell them everything Detective Mitchell said. Everything he did. Bennett's voice shakes. It might cost me my career, but it's the right thing. It is. Sarah squeezes his hand. And we'll make sure your courage is recognized. Bennett nods. Leaves. Sarah turns to Andrew. They're finally alone in the center of the ballroom. The band packs up. Staff cleans quietly around them. We're married, Sarah whispers. We are. It didn't go exactly as planned. Andrew laughs. Actually laughs. No, it really didn't. But we made it. We did. They dance to silence. No music. Just the sound of their breathing. Their hearts. I love you, Dr. Gray. I love you, Mrs. Gray. Outside, Chicago sleeps. But on social media, the city is wide awake. The arrest videos have gone viral. 17 million views. 30 million by morning. Hashtag justice. For Andrew trends #1 nationwide. The story spreads. CNN picks it up. Local news, national news, international news. But Andrew and Sarah don't check their phones. They just dance. Because this moment, this quiet, perfect moment, belongs to them. And no one can take it away. 48 hours after the wedding, Chicago PD Commissioner Sandra Hayes stands at a podium downtown. Cameras flash. Reporters shout questions. She waits for silence. On Saturday, June 15th, Detective Ryan Mitchell arrested Dr. Andrew Gray at his wedding reception. The arrest was based on insufficient probable cause, resulted from failure to verify updated information, and violated Dr. Gray's civil rights. Her voice is steady, clear. We failed Dr. Gray. We failed his family. We failed this city. She doesn't look down at notes. Effective immediately, Chicago PD is implementing the following changes. First, mandatory APB verification before any arrest. No officer may proceed with an arrest without confirmed updated information from dispatch. Second, supervisor approval required for all arrests made outside of direct observation of a crime. Third, body camera footage will be reviewed within 72 hours of any arrest involving physical contact. She pauses. Additionally, every officer in Chicago PD will undergo 20 hours of implicit bias training. Not a seminar, real training, with testing and accountability. She looks directly into the cameras. This isn't enough, but it's a start, and we owe Dr. Gray more than apologies. We owe him change. 1 week later, Andrew returns to St. Vincent's Hospital. He walks through the main entrance. Staff members stand and applaud. Nurses, doctors, janitors, security guards, everyone. Dr. Patricia Chen, the chief of pediatrics, meets him in the hallway. Dr. Gray, welcome back. Thank you, Dr. Chen. The hospital board wants you to know, we stand with you, completely. Whatever you need, time off, counseling, legal support, it's yours. Andrew shakes her hand. I just need to get back to work. Are you sure? After everything, my patients need me. That's enough. He walks to the pediatric ward. Room 304. Inside, 7-year-old Marcus Johnson recovers from the heart surgery Andrew performed 3 days ago. The surgery Andrew should have been preparing for when he got arrested. But he came in at 6 a.m. Sunday morning, still in his tuxedo, performed the operation anyway. Marcus's parents stand when Andrew enters. His father, Leonard, extends his hand. Dr. Gray, we saw what happened. At your wedding, we saw how they treated you. Andrew shakes his hand. How's Marcus? Perfect. Because of you. Leonard's voice breaks. You could have postponed, could have said you weren't ready, but you came in anyway. You saved our son anyway. I took an oath, Andrew says simply. To heal. That doesn't stop because one detective couldn't see past prejudice. 6 months later, the lawsuit settles. $2.3 million. Formal apology from the city. Every policy change implemented and codified. Detective Ryan Mitchell is terminated. His appeal is denied. His pension reduced by 60% pending arbitration. Last anyone hears, he's working private security at a suburban shopping mall. Officer Bennett is promoted to training coordinator. He teaches new recruits about courage, about speaking up, about the difference between following orders and following conscience. Andrew and Sarah donate $1 million from the settlement to create the Second Chances Scholarship Fund. Full-ride scholarships for young black men pursuing careers in medicine. The first recipient is 17-year-old Jamal Davis from Englewood, the neighborhood Andrew grew up in. At the scholarship ceremony, Jamal approaches Andrew. Dr. Gray, I saw what happened to you. I saw them arrest you, and I saw you keep going, keep helping people. That's when I decided, I want to be like you. Andrew hugs him. Be better than me. That's all I ask. 1 year after the wedding, Andrew testifies before the Illinois State Legislature. Senate Bill 2541, the Wrongful Arrest Accountability Act. He speaks for 20 minutes. No notes. Just truth. Racial profiling isn't always burning crosses or hate speech. Sometimes it's a glance, an assumption, a decision made in 2 seconds that destroys a life. He looks at the legislators. Detective Mitchell saw a black man at an expensive hotel and decided I was a criminal. He didn't see my medical degree, my clean record, my life of service. He just saw skin color. The bill passes 94-12, bipartisan support. Governor Pritzker signs it into law 3 weeks later. Andrew and Sarah attend the signing ceremony. 2 years later, the law has prevented 156 wrongful arrests based on insufficient probable cause. 12 officers have been disciplined for racial profiling. 4 police departments have completely overhauled their arrest procedures. Andrew and Sarah's first child is born, Thomas Leonard Gray, named after Sheriff Tom and Leonard Johnson, Marcus's father. At the hospital, surrounded by family, Andrew holds his son for the first time. "He's beautiful," Sarah whispers. "He is." Andrew kisses his son's forehead, "And he'll grow up in a world slightly better than the one we inherited. Because of you. Because of everyone who witnessed, everyone who spoke up, everyone who refused to look away." Sheriff Tom stands in the corner, tears streaming down his face. His daughter, his son-in-law, his grandson, his family. Rebecca squeezes his hand. "You did good, Tom." We all did. Andrew's story appears in a documentary. Witnessed: How One Wedding Changed Chicago. The filmmaker interviews everyone: Jake, Deshaun, Officer Bennett, hotel staff, wedding guests. The final interview is Andrew, speaking directly to camera. "My story ended with justice. Not everyone's does." He leans forward. "Right now, somewhere in America, someone is being arrested who shouldn't be. Someone is being profiled, humiliated, destroyed. And the only thing between them and Detective Mitchell is you." His eyes hold the lens. "So here's my question. Have you ever seen injustice and stayed silent? Have you ever witnessed something wrong and told yourself it wasn't your business?" Pause. It is your business, because the next Andrew Gray might not have a sheriff for a father-in-law. They might just have you, your phone, your voice, your willingness to witness. Sarah joins him on screen. If this story moved you, don't just watch, act. Film injustice when you see it. Share it. Tag people who need to hear it. Call your representatives. Demand accountability. Andrew smiles. Truth is patient, but justice requires witnesses. The screen fades to black. White text appears. Since the Wrongful Arrest Accountability Act passed, 156 wrongful arrests prevented, 48 Illinois cities implemented new training, 12 officers disciplined for racial profiling, 0 badges returned to Detective Ryan Mitchell. What would you have done if you were there? Comment below. Share this story. Subscribe for more stories of justice, because the next chapter might need you to write it.